The movie begins with General Maximus leading the Roman legions against the Germanic tribes in 180 AD. We witness the Roman army gathering their forces in preparation for battle. The Romans initiate their assault by firing flaming arrows and launching deadly projectiles, while the fierce barbarians retaliate with equal intensity. The battle escalates into brutal hand-to-hand combat, but in the end, the Roman forces triumph, bringing an end to the long conflict. Maximus's victory earns him the admiration of the soldiers, as well as the respect of the aging emperor Marcus Aurelius. The emperor's children, Commodus and Lucilla, have been called to join the campaign. Commodus, pampered and insecure, arrives in luxury. He is certain he will be named his father's successor, addressing Maximus warmly as brother. Lucilla, who once shared a romantic relationship with Maximus, has since married, had a son, and become a widow. To Maximus's shock, the emperor chooses him as his successor, bypassing Commodus. Maximus, eager to return home to his family, initially refuses the honor, but the emperor insists. When Commodus learns he will not become emperor, he is devastated and accuses his father of never loving him. Overcome with emotion, the emperor embraces his son, but Commodus betrays him, smothering him to death and seizing the throne. Commodus demands Maximus's loyalty, but Maximus, aware of Commodus's involvement in his father's murder, refuses. In response, Commodus orders Maximus's execution and sends soldiers to kill his wife and son. Maximus narrowly escapes death thanks to his combat skills and rushes home, only to find his family brutally murdered and his home in ruins. After burying his loved ones, a heartbroken Maximus collapses from exhaustion. He is found by slave traders who sell him to a gladiator trainer named Proximo in North Africa. Grieving the loss of his family and feeling betrayed by the empire he served, Maximus initially refuses to fight. However, as time passes and he defends himself in the arena, his exceptional combat abilities earn him fame and the admiration of the crowd. We now see the gladiators preparing for the arena. Many of the men are frozen with fear, while their opponents appear terrifying, donning fearsome headgear. The bloody fight begins, and several combatants are slaughtered. However, Proximo's fighters prove their strength and skill, emerging as a formidable force by the end of the battle. The crowd roars with approval. Proximo advises Maximus that in Rome, sheer fighting ability won't be enough. He must win over both the audience and the emperor. Maximus realizes this might be his chance to get close to Commodus and seek his revenge. Meanwhile in Rome, Commodus reopens the gladiatorial games in honor of his late father. Proximo's group of gladiators is recruited to participate. The first battle takes place in the Grand Colosseum, a massive spectacle. Maximus and his team are matched against a more powerful force, armed with chariots and projectile weapons. The charioteers wreak havoc, killing many with their arrows, but Maximus, using his battlefield experience, leads his team in disabling the chariots. Mounting one of the horses, Maximus leads a fierce counterattack. Eventually, Proximo's gladiators overwhelm the enemy and claim a decisive victory. The crowd is ecstatic, cheering loudly for the warriors. Emperor Commodus, impressed by the spectacle, descends into the arena to meet the victors. He asks Maximus to remove his helmet and reveal his identity. Shocked, Commodus realizes that the leader of the gladiators is none other than Maximus, the man he thought he had killed. Unable to order Maximus's execution due to the crowd's overwhelming support, Commodus reluctantly gives the thumbs up, allowing Maximus to live, and leaves the arena in frustration. As the games continue, Commodus arranges a new challenge, pitting Maximus against Tigris of Gaul, the arena's undefeated champion, in a fight surrounded by chained tigers. Tigris, a giant of a man clad in gleaming silver armor, starts the battle by kicking dust into Maximus's face. Every time Maximus nears a trap, a ravenous tiger is released. During the brutal fight, one tiger attacks Maximus, but he manages to kill it. After an intense struggle, Maximus defeats Tigris. When Commodus signals to decide Tigris' fate, he gives the thumbs down, calling for Tigris' death, though Maximus spares him. Maximus spares Tigris, deliberately defying Commodus and winning even more favor with the crowd. Now dubbed Maximus the Merciful, his growing popularity frustrates Commodus, whose own influence continues to fade. After the fight, Maximus reconnects with his former servant Cicero, who informs him that his loyal army is still waiting for him. Meanwhile, Lucilla, increasingly alarmed by her brother's instability, conspires with Maximus and Senator Gracchus to reunite Maximus with his army and overthrow Commodus. However, Commodus learns of the plot through Lucilla's young son, Lucius, and forces her to reveal the details by threatening the boy. Commodus then sends the Praetorian Guard to storm Maximus' Gladiator barracks, but the gladiators choose to fight back. During the battle, Maximus escapes but is ambushed by the guards, who use Cicero as bait, killing him when Maximus emerges from hiding. Commodus, concluding that Maximus must die in the arena where his fame was born, challenges him to a public duel. Knowing that Maximus is the superior fighter, Commodus secretly stabs him before the duel, concealing the wound beneath Maximus's armor. As they face off in the Colosseum, rose petals rain down, and the two exchange blows. However, Maximus is severely injured, bleeding from the lung. Despite his weakened state, Maximus summons the last of his strength, disarming Commodus and throwing his own sword aside. In desperation, Commodus pulls a hidden dagger and attacks again, but Maximus turns the tables, defeating Commodus and killing him with the same dagger. As Commodus falls in the now silent Colosseum, the dying Maximus has a vision of reuniting with his wife and son in the afterlife. He reaches out for them before collapsing. Lucilla rushes to Maximus's side, and after confirming her son is safe and Commodus is dead, Maximus succumbs to his wounds, his spirit finally at peace. His body is carried out of the Colosseum by Senator Gracchus and Maximus' gladiators, and the film concludes here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.